So we've arranged all the letters in a word when we use all of them, all right? But what if we don't want to use all of the letters? We've got 15 different letters to choose from, and we want to use 10 of them without repeating any of the letters. Well, for my first event is letter 1. So how many choices do I have? I have 15. My second event is letter 2. I have 14 choices. And then I have 13, etc. So you're like, hey, I can see the pattern, but when am I going to stop? I'm going to pretty much stop when I have chosen 10 letters. And that stops right here. So if I were to try and do 15 factorial for this, is that going to give me the right answer? Well, hopefully you said no, because 15 factorial is this product. How many times too big is that, right? Well, I don't want this. This is X, right? Too much. It's too much. So how could I make this whole thing be the same as this product? Well, since it's this many times too big, if I divided by that product, which by the way is 120, then it would match this. So I could just write 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are the extras. So if you divide by extras, that will actually give me the same thing. So what is the shortcut for the extras? It's 5 factorial. So a permutation represents a number of ways you can arrange R items with a total of n items where you're choosing R. Let me do that. N choose R. It's a little bit picky. Sorry, I don't like my writing there. So if we want to write an expression, the number of permutations using N and R, we're going to have to figure out a formula. Well, N is like 15 in our example up here. N is like the total we have to choose from. And R is how many we're going to pick. Well, so far, the way we notate it is with this, NPR. And you're going to see later in the calculator that that symbol shows up. So you want to make sure to match that. Well, I had 15 factorial, right? So that's just my N. But 5 factorial, that's not the same as 10 factorial. How did I get 5 from 15 and 10? Well, 5 was the extras. So if I go N minus R, that tells me how many are extra. Put parentheses around it and put an exclamation mark. All right? So on the calculator, I'm going to go through the steps, and then I'll show you on the calculator. First of all, you enter in the number N first, right? 15. This is always the biggest. Now, if you have 2 numbers, then it doesn't matter which one you pick. It's how many to choose from. Okay? Then you're going to press enter. And then hit the left or right arrow till you get to PRB. You're going to press 2 or scroll to NPR. It's not very far down, so you could scroll pretty easily. Then, if you scroll to NPR and press enter, right, enter, and then enter in the number for R, which in our case is 10. And then you press enter again, so it does the calculation, and that will give you the answer for 15p10. All right, so I'll go ahead and pull up my fake calculator. All right. And turn on my calculator again. Isn't that hilarious? Alright, so I'm going to do 15 for 15 and enter. Actually, I didn't have to do that. Why did I have 15? I don't want to press enter. I want to press math. Bad teacher. Math. It's like, that won't work. Alright, 15 math. And then go to PRB. And now I'm going to go to NPR, which is 2 right there. Now put in the R, which is 10, and hit enter. And it gave me a gigantic number, and yes, the answer is a gigantic number. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do some more problems here, and we'll use the calculator to solve those. So you have, how many different 5-digit numbers can you create from the number 987,654,321? Well, R is going to be 5 because I'm only going to pick 5 digits, all right? And I'm only rearranging these digits, so how many do I really have to choose from? It's not 100,000. There are only 9 digits here, so N is 9. So I would be doing 9P5. And it's good for you to actually know how to substitute into this formula up here, so you can show, hey, I know what I'm talking about. But you don't really have to do this part in the calculator. We're going to go ahead and do the shortcut, which is basically putting in N, which is 9, math, scroll to PRB, press 2, and then I'm going to put 5, enter, and I get 15,120. All right? And for this one, let's go ahead and do this problem. How many different 4-letter arrangements? So that tells me R is 4. Can you make from the word ambidextrous? N will be 2, 3, should have 12. All right? So I'm going to do 12 permutation 4. 12 choose 4 for the permutations. Remember, always goes in front and on top. The difference goes on bottom because we're dividing by those extras. Don't really have to calculate it. I can just get my calculator here and say, okay, I'm doing 12 permutation 4, so 12 math PRB 4. Oops, clear. 12 math PRB, go to permutation, and then press 4, and then enter. And I get 11,880. And that is correct.